Hi everyone. So I wanted to introduce Project One, which, as most of you know, is to create your own unique font and to generate it as an open type format. Now, to do that, we're going to be using a font software that works with both Illustrator and Photoshop called FontSelf. You will need to purchase that. If you purchase a license for either Photoshop or Illustrator, it's only $25, but if you purchase for both, it will be $50. So you will need to buy that fairly quickly and make sure that it's up and running on your computer. I have downloaded it and will try to recreate the process of buying it. You do actually have to let them know that you are a student, and they will have to verify that you are a current student, and somehow I don't know how they will do that. And then they will ask you to purchase it, and they'll send you a link to download. Again, I would encourage you to pay the $50 for the Illustrator and the InDesign. You're going to have very minimal costs for this class, and this is basically the one big cost. And then you're actually going to be creating your own stickers and having those produced, and so that's going to be the other cost. Other than that, everything will be posted here. You probably have tracing paper or grid paper at home, so you shouldn't probably need much beyond that, and some pencils. If you are somebody who has an iPad and you use Procreate, that is something that you can use to do this, and then we'll transition it into Photoshop. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit, about this. You are doing uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and a set of special characters for this. And what I encourage you to do is think about things that you find really interesting. So for example, I really love nature. I'm surprised I haven't done a font related to nature yet, but I haven't. And so that could be an inspiration. I've had people do the tops of soup cans, barcodes, radiators, even furniture styles as forms of inspiration. Or you could go a different way. You could define it as elegant or scientific or ornamental. There are a million ways to get yourself in the place where you want to develop a font. You could start thinking about the kind of places you would want your font used, and so maybe that will help you generate a unique font. So what I'm looking for in terms of your sketches is not a complete set of letters. I'm looking for something like this, and we're going to go through a whole bunch of these. These are just things I found on the web. You're going to give me 10 different possibilities, and you're going to identify which one you like the most in your sketches. Now, again, they can be hand or they can be in Procreate, either one. So here's another one, and you can see that they're really kind of refining the A. One of the things that I do is I always go for the letter that I like the most. Most of you probably know that I like G's. And so I usually start actually using this form of an A. Obviously, there are two forms, or a G, and that's usually where I start. So I'm just looking for some of those characters. You can see that they intend to have, some edges here, which is certainly possible with this software. It makes it a lot easier. You can see that they also have a very consistent upper, or not uppercase, ascender and descender, and then an X height that they're working off of. Now, I don't expect you to do that in your sketches, but you will actually have to do that in the next phase. And you can see that this is another one. They have the X height, which is the space between this and the baseline. So this is called the mean line, and this is called the baseline. This is considered the descender line, and this is considered the ascender line. So hopefully you guys know that terminology from taking Intro to Graphic Design. All right, so these are, again, more elaborate, and you can see that they've really gone out and used probably a compass, not a compass, but you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they are getting circular lines. You can actually buy things like that. These guys have been working on a grid paper. I highly recommend grid paper. It makes your life really easy, and you can use it to define that these are exactly the same space, you know, across, and you can see that they got wider here. They went 5, and up here they went 4. You're going to want to have that kind of consistency. That being said, I don't need that in the sketches. The sketches are for you to show me the style that you are approaching and looking for. On Friday, you will be posting the rough drafts of A through Z lowercase, and so that's when I need this kind of precision, because those are what we're going to be using to draw our drawings in Illustrator or Photoshop, depending on where you're doing it. All right, you can see these guys had a sketchy logs as their inspiration, and here they have these kind of faceted edges that they've kind of created, and they've continued it, you know, quite nicely, and it still has a lot of variety, but still feels very even. You can see these guys were really pushing the limits of wide letters or wide characteristics with a very thin element. Keep in mind when you're doing something like this, you want something to be readable. This is a tough font to make work. And so as much as I love the style of it, obviously I pulled it, you know, we want it to be readable. So think about things that might make your font unreadable. Again, this is another one, and the quality is a little bit lower than some of my others, but you can see that, you know, it has some script-like qualities, and it's really quite nice. So ask questions early. I'm only looking for a few letters, but I am looking for 10 different fonts in your sketches. And what I mean by that is, well, let's zoom out. Let's see if I got 10 different ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are 10 different ideas. So I only need a couple of characters for each of these, and I need 10 different directions. Maybe is a better way to put it. You cannot reuse ideas. If you're reusing the same idea and you're just sketching it a little differently, make sure that they're on one sheet for us and you have them numbered. The reason why they need to be on one sheet is because if they're not on one sheet, they are going to be kind of problematic for us to look at and compare and contrast. I know a lot of people often will send me like 10 different images. Please just drop all of those images into one sheet and send that so that we can compare and contrast if you're not drawing them on the same piece of paper. And again, make sure they're numbered so that when I go through it and talk to you about your options, I'll be able to clearly indicate, oh, I really loved number 3. It was the best choice. You know, and one of the things I would like you to do is I would like you to explain to us which one that you're most drawn to and why. And that'll, you know, possibly skew our perspectives on your feedback. Thanks.